Okay, as you see, once you cut through, you're going to find there's a little air restrictor in here with a spring that is trash. You don't need this anymore. And the front of the barrel is also trash. So we're going to go ahead and get the rest of this out of the middle here, and we'll start the video once we clean out that. Alright, Johnny went ahead and he cleaned out the barrel. You can leave the nubs on the inside here, but what you want to do is get all the extra dust from cutting off the end out of the barrel. So he went ahead and washed it out and dried it. It looks pretty smooth. Good job, buddy. And what we're going to do now is
we're going to wrap the end of this with tape so it can fit in this with no problem.
Yep, we're gonna go ahead and make a few wraps of tape on one end of your PVC pipe here. And the reason is because obviously it's a lot smaller than the air chamber here. Okay, so it's only going to stick in probably about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch or so. So we're only going to wrap the one side of it. And what's going to happen there is as you put the air chamber back in the gun, you're going to stick the wrapped end into the air chamber, and that's where we're going to use our glue, our goop, to hold it in place. And we're going to go ahead and wrap the outside of that with some tape. Now I put the opposite side of the Nerf gun, or of the Night Finder, over here to support the barrel. So that way, as this thing dries overnight, the barrel won't move, so the barrel is going to be straight as it dries. And it's not attached to this piece. This is just laying here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and wrap this with tape, and we'll show you what it looks like.
Okay, we got the tape all wrapped up so it can fit in there, but you don't want to put it in too tight. Well, you don't want to put it in too much, only till you can see about the edge of the tape.
So just push it in just a little bit. There we go.
A little bit more.
That's probably good.
Oh.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So here's the idea.
That's good.
Okay, that's good, John. We're just using the tape as support to try to keep the barrel straight. That's not actually sealing anything. That's just holding the barrel straight. So what we're going to do here is, as we put the air chamber back in the gun, we're going to straighten out the barrel, okay, and get a good idea. Now if you look here, we're going to go ahead and put the glue all the way around the barrel, okay. The goop, I just used some automotive, but you know, we've used any kind of goop. It all works really well. We're going to go ahead and put that right around the barrel, and we're going to put one layer of just some electrical tape we have. You can use duct tape or masking tape or whatever, just to kind of hold things together down here. And then we're going to go ahead and let this dry.
Okay, we're going to replace this O-ring and this spring for better ones. We got our O-rings right here and this spring right here.
Yep, you showed this is the old stock spring.
Old stock spring.
You can see that I can actually bend this with my hand. All right, really easy. Now the new stock spring, let's see what we can do with that.
Yeah, it's hard for me.
All right, I can bend it, but it's definitely a lot stronger spring. So
you're gonna have to pull that pretty far.
Yep.
Back.
So this will put a lot more pressure on the dart coming out of the tube, and we're replacing the air, the O-ring, to force more air into the tube to make the dart shoot further. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take this apart. There's one screw right here on the end, and we're going to replace the O-ring and the spring.
This is how to get the O-ring off. Okay, we got that off. Now we're going to get one of the new ones and put it on.
All right, give this one a try. See how that fits.
It's certainly stretchy.
And should be nice and tight. Yeah, let me get that screwdriver out of here. The O-ring's a little bit slippery. They put a little bit of lube on there.
Maybe that's
Nerf
why
does.
you can't get
So
right
just get you a little hand there. Got it?
almost.
There you go.
There you go. I got
Okay,
it.
good. Now if you notice, this one's a little tighter than the other one, which will force more air down the tube. Okay? And the spring, here's the stock spring. Go ahead and swap it out for the other one, Johnny.
Okay. This will, for this new spring, it'll be a bit harder to cock.
Yeah, it sure will be.
We've experienced that with our other modded gun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder to pull the trigger back, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it will. But the good thing about it, it'll go really far compared to what it was.
Yeah, it should go about twice the distance of the stock gun. Now, one thing to remember is, since this thing will shoot the darts a lot further, don't shoot anybody in the eyes. Don't shoot anybody in the face if you can help it. It's not a good idea. These darts come out a lot farther, a lot faster, and they will hurt. Some of the guns that Johnny and I have used to shoot each other actually leave welts on us. So just be aware of that. And parents, if you're watching, make sure your kids use some goggles on these. Okay? All right. How this is going to go back together, okay, this is going to be the important part. We're not going to put the spring in tonight because we're going to need the barrel to dry, and we're going to show you that. But this is the way it goes back together, with a little spring towards the top, okay? And this spring, obviously the plunger and the spring will go inside the barrel itself, okay? We're going to show you that in the morning, but for tonight, we're going to go ahead and continue to glue the barrel and let it dry, and that'll be it for tonight.
Okay, my dad is going to glue it, but we want to get a good glue around the ring and the new air chamber, so it'll stay.
Okay, you just want a good bead of glue around there to seal it really well, okay? Because this is what's going to compress the air to send the dart out, okay? So you're going to want a good bead, and then I usually actually go around the old air chamber one more time, okay? This stuff will take a couple of minutes to set, so if your barrel's not straight right away, don't worry about it. We'll get that in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the tape here so we can get the tape on. Okay. All right, go ahead and start at the end of the air chamber and just go ahead and wrap all the way around where your barrel connects. And the tape is not holding it on, the tape is just stopping the glue from going in the rest of the gun. Okay, that's the only purpose of the tape. So
at least of this tape.
Yeah, so once you get that together, you're going to go ahead and put the barrel back in the gun. And I like to go ahead and screw it in place just to make sure that nothing happens to it. We've got a couple of cats, so we want to make sure that they're not moving this thing around at night. So I like to go ahead and screw the old air chamber back into place while it dries. Okay, so as far as this goes, the only other thing you can do is put a little bit of weight on the end of the barrel here to make sure it stays down and straight.
Hello everybody, we let our new barrel dry overnight and we're going to show you how to put it back together.
Alright, first thing to do is we went ahead and we screwed in the old air chamber just to hold everything in place, and we're going to head and unscrew that, and we'll take it out and show you how to put the thing back together again. Alright, we went ahead and took out the air chamber and the new dried barrel out of the gun. We're going to go ahead and put the air plunger with the new O-ring and the new spring in. Now you probably need somebody who's got a little strength because this is a little bit hard to get in place. So the small spring is going to go up towards the top of the gun, back it up a little bit, and then the barrel goes in where the screw holes line up. You've got the back ledge here of the gun itself is where the spring will push up against. So it's going to be kind of a little tricky to get the spring in. If you guys don't want to go with this strong of a spring, you can use a little weaker spring and it'll be easier to put together. but we like to make this thing shoot as far as we can, so that's why we use the big spring.
Yes, we like to make it shoot pretty far. We screwed them back in, but make sure you don't screw them too tight because you can break the air chamber.
Yeah, the plastic around the holes of the air chamber itself is a little flimsy. So,
A little cheap.
Yeah, well, what we ended up doing was we put a little washer in on the top because we screwed that hole down a little bit too tight. So we fixed that. Basically, that's the gun back together except for putting the pieces together. Now, there is one thing that we forgot to mention yesterday. Down at the very bottom of the gun, there is a tiny little flat washer. It's a square washer. Okay, that's what's used to hold on the bottom of the Night Finder. Okay, the bottom piece. Okay, this screw right there is what will screw into that. So when you put the gun pieces back together, the two sides, you're going to want to make sure you put that flat washer back in place. Alright, so that's what it's going to look like. Then you're going to put both sides together. Now, one thing we also did is we had a couple extra ammo holders from a couple of different builds we've done in the past. We just glued a couple more on the side, so when we put the gun back together, we're going to be able to hold a total of 6 rounds because we're going to put some on the other side as well. So for the time being, that's what it looks like. We're going to go ahead and put the pieces back together, and we'll show you that process. We gotta make sure we use the 14 screws to put them back together again. All right. Okay, one more thing we forgot to show you is this is the mechanism they use to hold on the scopes or the sights or whatever you put on top of the gun. If you want to use that, you'll need to put that back into place. And it's pretty much right up top here. There's just a little holder for it. Okay, hard to do with one hand, but here, Johnny, hold the camera. Okay, just about. And it is a spring, so it can pop loose on you. There we go. So we got that, and we got the flat washer down here, and now we're going to put the two sides back together again. You got to do this gently so you don't lose anything here. Okay, now that the sides are back together, we're going to go ahead and screw them in, and we'll go from there. Hey Johnny, looks like we have an audience.
Yes, we do.
All right, I wonder who that is. Hey,
Dun, dun.
look, this is our build supervisor. This is Spooky, the supervisor of the Nerf build. She's very interested in how this will work, probably because we might shoot her with it. All right, Johnny, show them the finished product. Okay, so we have our new Night Finder. This is modded. We put on our 2 extra ammo clips, so we have a total ammo capacity of 6 plus the one in the barrel. And we're going to go ahead and show you a quick test shot. And these are hard to cock, by the way, with that new spring. There we go. Okay. Test fire.
Let me come back here.
Sure.
It's gonna shoot
Just a second. Let me get back behind you here. And go for it. All right. So, doing good so far. We'll take it outside and show you the distance in just a little bit.
Hi guys, this is our new Night Finder. We nicknamed it the Spouting Pistol. We're gonna do a test fire.
All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead and walk to it, Johnny. All right, that is probably about 60 feet. My best guess there. We'll go from there. Think it looks great, and it modded great. Good job, buddy.
Gotcha.